And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. And we got some interesting content for the show. Going to talk a lot about real estate values, what's happening in the market, things that you can expect. Refinances are down 62% according to Mortgage Bankers Association. Refis are down. We got a cash guarantee program, really cool new program from Diane, VANCE, Fairway Independent Mortgage. She's going to talk about their cash guarantee program. Really strong offering from a local lender here in Tampa Bay, nationwide lender, but local team. Ray Hall Appraisals in the house as well. We're going to talk from an appraisal standpoint, what he sees happening in the marketplace, as well as contractor tips and more from the AC guy of Tampa Bay here on the program. And before we do, we want to thank our sponsors, Veteran Gutters, longtime friends of the program. Reach out to Brandon Porter with Veteran Gutters. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. You can take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brandon Porter served our great country, and his company is Veteran Gutters. Please support him, American-made products as well. And we like to feature our real estate listings here on the show. Before we jump into this content, we've got a hot listing, 700 North Osceola. This is a waterfront condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Waterfront condo in Clearwater. Beautiful property here. Number 405, so you're on the 4th floor there, overlooking the intercoastal waterways. You got the bridge, the south view from your living room. You're looking at the beautiful bridge there. Updated throughout as well. Many updates. Got the granite countertops in the kitchen and bath. Beautiful flooring, ceramic tile floorings as well. Spacious rooms, waterfront on the intercoastal Clearwater of Clearwater right here in Tampa Bay. Beautiful pool overlooking the water. I mean, just a great opportunity. And it's only priced at $650. I mean, it's a heck of a deal. Looks like a great opportunity at 1,600 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And you got master suites, king-size suites. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, we got Ray Hall in studio and Diane VANCE on the line. Let's go ahead and let Ray kind of give an introduction of what he's going to talk about today.
Oh, a lot going on in the market. As you said, refis are down, but we're still staying busy in the appraisal arena. And values we haven't seen any kind of drops in values yet. So the market's still looking good, but changes could be on the way.
Yeah, unbalanced market still. Buyers are frustrated.
Yep.
Seen a lot of institutional buyers, a lot of investor buyers, corporations.
The usual that you would see, the website, like opendoor.com, things like that. I still see those signs out there. A lot of times we don't get involved in those kinds of purchases because they're paying cash.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not getting the lending, so they're not sending the appraiser. So when you're buying a house and you're looking at comps, maybe you're doing your own research, make sure you're not looking at those properties, because remember, nobody knows what that house was worth. They're just paying what they think.
Right.
I had situations where people are coming in and giving me comps and saying, well, look at these. They sold so much higher. Mm-hmm. I said, well, look, they were cash purchases. Mm-hmm. So there was never an appraisal done. They just wanted to overpay, so they did overpay. So that's why those kinds of transactions are a little questionable.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when determining value.
And then, of course, the distressed sales. Oh, well, that was a death, divorce, bankruptcy, mm-hmm. et cetera. Sometimes you have divorce sales. They call them a fire sale in some cases. How does that affect the appraisal?
You try to do your due diligence and see what's going on, because a lot of times when something is well below, right. And that's why an appraisal doesn't base it on one comp.
Right.
We put in our reports, I tell my people, I want a minimum of 4 closed sales and 1 or 2 listings. This way, we get an idea of what's going on in the market.
Right.
So if you've got that one sale that is $30,000 below everything else, that's questionable. That's what you would call a statistical outlier, and do you really want to base your opinion on that?
Exactly.
A lot of times we may have 3 comps that all, are 230, 231, and 232,000. That's what they adjust to.
Yep.
So we know that's probably most likely where the value's at.
Right.
But a lot of times, like the ones you were talking about, the fire sales, they're just kind of statistical anomalies, and you really wouldn't pay much attention to them.
Right. And Diane, let's bring Diane to the conversation here. Fairway Independent Mortgage, longtime friend of the program, DianeVance.com. Diane, are you seeing any appraisal issues with your deals?
We are seeing some. We have. I mean, it seems like most people, when they do the contract, they're actually agreeing to overpay for the any gap of appraisal. So we are seeing some of those. But we're not seeing it if they're, maybe I should say most people are expecting it because they know they're overpaying. Maybe that's more like what I should say. So we do have, a matter of fact, I had one yesterday they knew up front. So of course what I did was, instead of putting 20% down, we did appraisal.
You're also seeing, I'm hearing about deals where the buyers are competing, for these limited inventories, these limited properties, and they're giving a check directly to the seller saying, here's a non-refundable deposit, cash up front on a deal. I heard that one the other day.
I've not heard that one.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's how competitive it's getting.
Yeah.
It's very competitive, yes.
Appraisal gaps, appraisal waivers, inspection waivers, sight unseen. I mean, it's getting that bad. And a lot of times when people are moving from a higher priced market, California, New York, New Jersey, pretty much anywhere up north that are close to a metropolis, they're used to these higher numbers, so they come down here and they see Tampa Bay as a value.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely it's less expensive than the California market, even though. I think Florida's, they're definitely not. I mean, I think we've been behind for years, and I think we were actually catching up to the rest of a lot of the other markets that are hot markets, because let's face it, Tampa Bay is a hot market. I mean, so, I think we're catching up to where prices should be, probably, So, it's but we're not seeing, most of our stuff is coming in, and if not, then it's expected.
Tampa housing boom comes at a time when average 30-year fixed mortgage, this is an article out of Yahoo, 30-year fixed rate mortgages climbed above 5%. Mortgage rates have been climbing after the Federal Reserve announced plans to raise interest rates to tighten monetary policy to get inflation under control. As a result, Fannie Mae predicts housing prices will jump 10.8% this year and 3% in 2023. That's a national number, I think.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we've been, I think, more than 10%. So
24, 25, 28, I think, some areas.
Yep.
So this is out of an article from Yahoo. It says the title, one of the hottest housing markets in the southeastern United States, has been quietly thriving in the shadows of its brighter, louder, and more glamorous sister city, Miami.
Yay.
Our more glamorous sister city. Okay. I got some other
I don't know
names
if
I
it's
can
more
call.
glamorous,
Whoever wrote that hasn't been in Tampa lately. Then
Yeah.
See, we're stepping it up now.
Hey, man.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is.
They call it glamour. I call it traffic and
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's fun to visit the East Coast. I mean, that's what's great about Florida. You can travel, 3 to 4 hours. You're in, another cool little area, cool, spots throughout the state. And
that's why I'm learning to fly. So now it's only going to be an hour. And
there you go.
I'm surfing.
Get that pilot license. Yeah, that's right. There's some cool little beach towns on the East Coast. I stayed with a friend last week. I taught some classes down in Miami area, Weston, Keller Williams' office, and there's some cool little beach towns, and they have surf towns, and the reason why is the way the reef is lined up out there. They have a lot of breakers and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, I have friends that live in Melbourne, which is directly over from Tampa, and I love it out there. I love visiting. I took my kids out there, in fact, and showed them all the surf shops and.
It's pretty neat, right? New Smyrna Beach.
Yep, all those areas. When I was in college, boy, that's every week we were over there.
Right.
So no, I definitely enjoy those areas over there. But still, Tampa's home.
Some of the news outlets do that Florida on a tank full thing. I mean, one day you could be up in north central Florida and doing the springs where you cruise down you float down the rivers, and you got the natural water there, the different Jenny Springs or the different Zolfo Springs, all these different. And then you go the opposite direction. We just booked a trip for lobster season down in the Florida Keys. I mean, you go down there and you pull some lobsters up. You get the barbecue grill going. You go down to Key West if you want to do a little late night partying or in the evening partying. I mean, there's so much to do in Florida.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is just a great place, and if you have the means, I mean, you're a short little flight away from the Bahamas.
Yeah, that's right.
We have international travel right off our coast.
Right off the coast. Diane, what's your favorite thing to do in Florida? Spots?
I love the southwest area. I love the Naples and the Bonita Springs and all that area. I like going down there. I used to live in Naples and I have a lot of friends down there, and I really enjoy that area. But I like the East Coast because the waves are different, right? The ocean is an ocean. It's lots of waves and things like that. But no, I like going to all the different places that we have here in Florida. I love driving. I'm not crazy about flying.
Deeper waters too. Yeah, exactly. Deeper waters when you're shorter drive off the coast. So the fishermen will tell you it's a great place to fish right off the coast of Fort Lauderdale and some of those areas. So yeah, each part of the county or the state gives you different advantages, but it's definitely a great place to live, work, and play. We're talking with Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage on the line. Ray Hall Appraisals. Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, I want to talk about that cash guarantee program with Diane. This is something that you don't want to miss. This is a newer program, kind of helps you compete in a sense when you're putting in multiple offers, you're buying real estate properties. Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. Got a hot listing in Carrollwood, 14663 Village Glen Drive. This is a beautiful property, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. You got a pool, you got a spa, outdoor kitchen, screened in lanai. Beautiful property as well with a large, good-sized backyard, we'll call it. Village Glen Drive in Carrollwood, you got a covered lanai outdoor shower. Master bathroom has a jacuzzi tub, sauna, and a tanning bed. And this is a beautiful property with a kitchen style that was designed. It's a gourmet kitchen style that was designed by a local restaurateur. 14663 Village Glen Drive in Tampa, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
All I've got's love for Love City.
All right, we got Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage on the show here, dianevance.com. Ray Hall Appraisals as well on the show. And Diane, very competitive for buyers to get their deals approved or selected by the listing agents. The buyer agents are frustrated. Buyers are frustrated. They're looking at lots of properties. But it seems like this cash guarantee program that you have might help alleviate some of that stress.
Absolutely. So the reason Fairway came out with it was those exact reasons. So Fairway has came out with a Fairway Cash Guarantee Program to the seller that the sale of their property will close even if the buyer is unable to qualify for financing by the closing date. If the borrower does not qualify for financing by the closing date, Fairway will purchase the property in cash according to the appraisal value or sale amount, whichever is less, or pay the seller $10,000 if they do not wish to sell their home. So let's say we have an appraisal that does come in short, and the buyer doesn't want to pay it. Then we will actually, if the seller doesn't want to sell their home for the appraised value, we will give them $10,000. So it's a very strong program. It helps it's available for conventional FHA, VA, and so it has to go through our Fairway pre-approval program. You can't have a property yet because it takes us a while to get you. Well, it takes us a couple of days actually to get you fully underwritten, and you have to have we have income, assets, credit. Everything can't be saving for the down payment or anything like that. If you're getting gift funds, we're going to require that those gift funds be put in there. So it's not for everybody, but it's certainly going to get people the advantage to be able to compete with other offers. So, I mean, it's a good program that if I were a seller, I would certainly think about taking the program. There is no fee to the buyer, and there is, I mean, it has more to it, but it's an awesome program, and we have it nationwide, and we've been using it, and we have a lot of addendums to the contract coming from Fairway. So what we do is we send it in once we're all approved and they actually find a property, we send it in, and our attorneys actually give us the addendum to the contract, and we've already closed some loans like that.
Nice. That's a really cool program. And, I kind of came across that through one of my listings that actually just closed last week. And it was a pretty smooth process. And it gives you that backup, that peace of mind, that kind of that safety net to whereas if you can't qualify or something were to happen for the seller, it's a guaranteed deal. Right, Diane?
Yeah, so let's say the buyer goes out, and we of course tell our buyers never to go out and buy a car or anything like that. Let's say they don't qualify anymore, or something shows up on their credit refresh or something like that, and they don't qualify. We will come in and buy the house, or let's say they die, or they lose their job, or something like that. We will come in and purchase the home.
Yeah, it's such a strong program. Have you seen that, Ray?
I have not seen it yet. That sounds interesting, though.
It's a brand new program, and it was tested, of course, for a long time, but it's been out about a week, and they keep updating our flyer on it. So I'm trying to get the most recent update so that we can actually send it out to all the realtors so that they know that if you have a buyer, we certainly it will help the buyers, because you're right, a lot of people are getting frustrated, and this is one way to help them. Actually, it's a guarantee for the seller. Sometimes, hey, if they know that, that let's say that there is no appraisal contingency or something like that, then, the seller gains $10,000 and puts the house back on the market.
Right. Yeah, it's a very strong program. Now, another challenge that we're seeing in the marketplace is these insurance companies. Another one bites the dust. We've had insurance companies going out of business. They're getting downgraded, and they're losing their their I forgot the bond status or whatever the term is for that. But essentially, so insurances are going up. Florida is one of the most litigious states from what we're finding. I had a good interview with Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, on the program the other day, and he was mentioning how 85% of Florida has 85% of the litigation with some of these different types of claims that happen. But so there's a lot of changes in insurance. Flood insurance rates have gone up a lot. Homeowners insurance rates have gone up a lot. And in general, it's whether it's car insurance, homeowners insurance. The state of Florida is, I think we're going to be having a special legislative session for that to try to look at some ways to alleviate that. Diane, have you seen anything on your end as far as that goes?
Yeah, no, we have not. I did read yours, but I've not ran into it. Of course, a lot of times the agents will go ahead and find whoever is writing, but we have not ran into it. But usually we already have the insurance by the time, typically most of the agents are independent agents, so they know which companies are hopefully are going to be in business and they're not. Right. I don't know if they know ahead of time, but we've not had any situations where we've had to change agents or insurance companies that I know of.
Yeah, and that's so. There's Doug mentioned
But
he's got
it's
about
bound
15.
to happen.
Yeah, he's got 15 that he can still shop, and then you got some challenges, and unfortunately it gets into a situation sometimes with storms or roofs, and people are taking advantage of the systems, gaming the systems, filing these claims that could be marginally needed or not. And then, saying, oh, well, if you don't, give us a new roof, then we're just going to sue. And then that's what causes a lot of this downward spiral from what I've gathered from, we're talking to Doug with that, Doug Levi.
Yeah. And I'm sure Doug, that's what I'm saying. Usually they would, he would know. And I feel like, the 4-point I would think would protect some of that, the 4-point inspection, but I guess, when it comes, if it's older homes or somebody's, they didn't used to do 4-point inspections. So I imagine that's probably part of it.
Yep.
Years ago, they did not do that. So.
Yep. And a lot of people also that, another big thing affecting the real estate market is people are working from home now more than ever. So they don't have to live within that 10 to 20 mile radius or whatever drive time they want to feel comfortable with of their home or their work, where they would drive into the old office and, sit at the desk and have the cubicles and the water cooler talk. Nowadays, it's a lot about Zoom towns, right, Diane?
Oh yeah. It's definitely. I mean, my whole staff works from home now. I'm afraid if I asked them, made them back in the office, half of them would leave. But that's what I know.
Well, that is a true thing. I mean, that's a true trend you're hearing from big companies, Salesforce, and some of these other companies. Is they have to either now the people are kind of accustomed to that, trained to that, so to speak, and they have that learned behavior. So yeah, if you try to force them back in, you might lose them. And then a lot of companies are opting for more of like a flex workspace, where Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday type thing.
Yeah. Well, we actually have space where they can go meet customers. If they want to go in the office, they can go in the office. And I don't have my big office anymore, but that's only because exactly what you said is that, people we're very productive, almost more productive at working from home than we ever were. We're in the office.
Right.
Because you don't have the water cooler talks, and you do actually, and you get your work done, and you get it done faster. At least that's what most of my group feels, and that's the way I feel. So, I think it's probably here to stay, and I think I think a lot of companies have had to shift, their mindset.
Yeah. So where does that lead us with commercial real estate? I want to ask Ray Hall that on the opposite side of this break. Commercial real estate. Let's talk about that. How does that trend affect the office space environment, et cetera? And then Diane, give us a final thought here. About a minute left for you.
If anybody's thinking about buying a house, go ahead and give me a call. We'll do the program. It's called Advantage Plus, where you don't have a property yet, get you fully approved, and then wherever you make an offer, then we will send that to the listing agent so that you can get that offer accepted.
Diane
so you can
Vance.
compete with other offers.
That's right. DianeVance.com. Check her out online. You can call the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text. We'll put you in touch with her. By the way, you can text like a rent versus own as well. If you're renting, text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying, and we'll do a rent versus own for you. 813-917-1894. Call or text that line. And go to DianeVance.com. Fairway Independent Mortgage, top 3 lender in the country, does a great job. Nothing but great feedback from all the folks that we've sent over to Diane to work with her and her team. All right, Diane, thanks so much. Appreciate
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Take care, Diane.
All right, and then we're going to talk a little bit about a commercial real estate. I want to dive into that and see what Ray thinks in terms of commercial real estate, work from home, Zoom towns. How is that affecting the commercial real estate market, and also a little bit more about residential here with the appraisal expert here in studio, Ray Hall Appraisals. We'll be right back.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rides.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We like to feature our real estate listings live here on the show, help our sellers profit more, sell faster, utilizing our innovation with radio, TV, and internet marketing. I've got some hot property listings. Let's talk about commercial, since we're going to lead in with that with Ray Hall Appraisals. 14121 7th Street in Dade City. Got a restaurant for sale in Dade City. It's on the main strip there. Beautiful property. You've got a one-bedroom apartment on site, so you could have on-site management. 14121 7th Street, Dade City. Restaurant for sale. All of the equipment's included. Furniture, equipment, real estate. Great opportunity, established restaurant in downtown Dade City. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. Also, 4220 West Pearl. This is a contractor opportunity for builder, contractor, developer. 4220 West Pearl. You've got a business available for sale here in Tampa Bay. It's a corner lot location, over a half an acre, so you could bring all your trucks and equipment and vans and work equipment. 1,200 square foot building for your office. Great opportunity for relocating, contractor, or other business. 4220 West Pearl Avenue in Tampa. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, our YouTube page, Brandon Rhymes Realty, and download our podcast, iTunes podcast, Spotify podcast. Just open up the podcast app, pull up the Consumer Quarterback Show, and hit the plus sign to download that. You can hear our content anywhere and on the go. All right, we got Ray Hall in the house, Ray Hall Appraisals, longtime friend of the program. And we were kind of talking with Diane about that, how that kind of rolls into, the trends in the industry, in other words.
Yep.
But you got the work from home, Zoom towns, a lot of people working from home now, not going into an office. How do you see that affecting the office commercials?
It's going to depend. There may be a change in the office space. Now, we're saying how much people like working from home. Well, my office is virtual. So I really work from home. And lately I've been considering getting office space just so I have a place to go to.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are going to realize they never leave work.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets tricky, because now, you're not going to your car at 5 o'clock to beat traffic to get home. So you just keep working. And then you're sitting on your couch and you're working. So people may want to start. So what we might see is a lot more of the shared office space.
Yeah. Works.
Right.
Work flex space type stuff.
So you can get your job done. You can get out of the house for the day. You can, have an office environment. You can have people to talk to, get your work done, and go home at the end of the day, and just have a little bit of a change. Because, speaking from experience, at times it's Friday. I close the office door in my house, and I don't want it open.
Yep.
And my kids better not go in there because I don't want to see anything that's in that room.
Yeah.
I'm done. So that's a change that we might see. But that's really the only impact we're going to see, I think, commercially. A lot of other commercial properties, a lot of the listings you have, we still need them.
Right.
People still want to go to restaurants. So that kind of commercial real estate, I remember last time when 2007, 2008, when the residential market crashed, that's when I became a commercial appraiser, and we were busy. Yep. Maybe we weren't as busy as the prior years, but we still had work to do, and we still survived. So we still may see uptrends in the real estate market. You never know.
All right, we're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. What are some, kind of open up to you, Ray, what are some of the biggest misnomers? What are some of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to the appraisal business?
When it comes to the appraisal business, when it comes as a homeowner or as an appraiser?
We could go either way. Either way with that.
I would say the homeowners at times, they first of all, they spend so much time cleaning their house and it doesn't impact anything. You're never going to get value in your house by cleaning.
Okay.
But here's a tip: make it smell good.
There you go.
We're appraisers, we're people. a house that smells bad will affect me more than a cluttered house. Because remember, we're going into houses where people are moving, boxes are everywhere. But man, when I did a house once that must have had 100 to 200 cats.
Wow.
Horrible. And it really, I've gone back and looked at pictures and go, oh, it wasn't that bad. It just smelled real bad.
Yeah.
So light a candle. Don't waste so much time cleaning.
Yeah.
Individual things you do to your house, everything will not get value. You can't, because when we put an adjustment for something, we have to prove it. We have to have a comp with that feature. Let's say you put a fountain in the front of your house. A lot of people do that. And they say, well, I've got that fountain. It cost me $2,000.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to find a house with a fountain and show that it sold for $2,000 more than the house next door.
Right.
I'll never be able to support that.
Right.
So just realize not everything you do to your house is going to give you value.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the things they do. Don't follow the appraiser. Don't point out every room to the appraiser.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is give us a tour and tell us things like, this is the kitchen and this is the bathroom. We well know that the room with the toilet and the shower is the bathroom. We know the one with the stove is the kitchen.
Yeah.
We don't need that. Answer the questions. A good thing to do is have something prepared of everything you've done to the house.
Upgrade list.
Yeah. Have a complete upgrade list. Go ahead, put costs, put materials, have that prepared for your appraiser.
Yeah.
Tell them what you think the house would sell for. We can't appraise to your individual value, but we'd like to get an idea of where your head's at.
Yeah.
To see if we're missing something or to understand why you feel your house is worth.
Yeah, especially if
what it
it's
is.
something that can't be seen. So, for
Exactly.
example, let's say if it's a 2-story concrete block, right? Most of the time, that bottom level's concrete block, and then the top is the stick built.
Yep.
Now, if you happen to build concrete all the way up, that would be something good to let them know.
Right, because we have to make an adjustment for quality of construction. So you may have a superior quality of construction over the other homes in the area.
Yeah.
But again, we have to find another house that has that, because sometimes I've gone into houses where it was built by a commercial builder.
Yeah.
And he built it to commercial grade. And they said, well, that's superior quality and it's more value. But I had to tell them, well, there's no other house with that.
Right.
I said, that's an over improvement.
Yeah, over improvement.
The market's not going to be willing to pay for something because it's not necessary.
Right.
Okay, it can withstand 500 mile an hour winds. When was the last time we had a hurricane with 500 mile an hour winds?
Right.
You don't need to overdo it.
Yeah.
Build your house to how you want it, but don't go crazy and then expect the value, because I've never seen it happen before.
Right. What about vacant land, Ray? Development deals, rezoning, vacant land, development. That's an interesting, another area of real estate all in itself.
Yeah, and it's a very complicated area of real estate. I recently did an appraisal. Actually, I turned the appraisal down, but they were telling me that their property could get 10 units on it, and I had to tell them, no, your zoning is an RS 60. You can only have one house. That's it, single family. And they argued with me, and all of a sudden I saw their listing change, that they weren't saying that anymore because they found out they were wrong.
Right.
There's a lot more to it also than zoning. Can your street handle additional development? I had one once where they wanted to put a mobile home park on a street down in the kind of the Sefner area. Mm-hmm. And the density was fine. Everything would have worked out, but the level of service of the roadway would not allow that development. And, as the appraiser, I had to contact the county and see what was going on. But they said, they can't do that until they improve the level of service of the roadway. So the developer would have to widen the road.
Right.
And maybe extend sewer lines and extend water lines.
Yep.
And so there's a lot more to it than just grading the grass off and putting down pavement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of additional costs. And if you're looking to get into the development, find someone who's experienced. Don't go into that, blindly.
Right.
Because I remember after the last residential crash, there was a residential development I appraised up in the Brooksville area. They had 4 spec houses, about 70 some odd lots, and couldn't sell anything.
Really?
And they foreclosed.
Wow.
I appraised I think I appraised it when they were getting their loan, and then I appraised it again for the foreclosure.
Wow.
So be
it's
careful.
one way to get repeat business, right?
Well, I'll take it where I can get it.
Yeah. So, what Ray's talking about, is, whenever because we come across this a lot, is whenever you're a lot of times owners will just kind of hear through the grapevine, or they'll go based on what somebody else told them or whatever they think something may mean. But if you've got vacant land and you're considering developing it, the future land use comes into play, the zoning comes into play, the as Ray was mentioning, the service of the road, where's the closest water and sewer tie-in. Those are all things to consider. Those are considerations. And if it's 150 yards down the road, I mean, that could be in the tens of thousands of dollars, over $100,000 to bring that sewer and that water to your lot. And they don't want septic tanks either. They're trying to get rid of a lot of septic tanks.
I mean, on average, to connect your house to a sewer line that's there already costs about $10,000.
Right. It's already by the road.
If it's already there.
Just to the road.
Now you're talking about having to dig up the road, put the pipe down.
Yeah.
That's a lot of expense.
It does.
So, and I know, I think we've dealt with properties before where the owners are saying, well, I can do this and I can do that. Well, how do you know?
Right.
Where did you get that from? Well, if you look at the zoning and this and that, well, there's a whole lot more you gotta do. And there's people out there that have businesses where they'll do a feasibility analysis as to really what you can do and what you can't do with your property.
Right.
We've had that involved before with land we've appraised in the commercial realm.
Yeah.
So I would suggest looking into those people and finding out for sure. Even as an appraiser, and I've appraised multiple residential developments and vacant land and everything else, and I don't know it all. And I wouldn't, trust my opinion 100%. I always ask for a professional to come out and tell us, what can we do? What do we have? Even environmental impact.
Yep.
Up in, Pebble Creek, up in New Tampa, they closed the golf course down so they can develop. Well, now they can't develop because people don't realize golf courses are pretty polluted. There's a lot of pesticides. There's a lot of fertilizer, and you can't build on it.
Interesting.
Until it trickles down and cleans itself up, or you got to grade off a certain amount of the dirt and replace it. So right now, that's, as you see, most golf courses, when they close down, they just sit vacant. They become
I didn't realize
a greenway. Yeah,
that's interesting. That happened to one in LaBelle, my hometown. But yeah, a lot of considerations taken into account. Ray Hall Appraisals. How can they find you? RayHallAppraisals.com. And our phone number is 813-452-5369. Any appraisals you need, we can help you out. Even if you're just trying to figure out what your house could list for, we could certainly do a little bit of a more inexpensive appraisal for you and give you an accurate idea of what your house is worth. Yeah, owner's use appraisal.
Absolutely, yes. For the owner's use only. It's not for negotiations, but we make it worth your while.
Perfect. All right, Ray, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right, we're taking a quick break there. When we come back, we've got the AC guy of Tampa Bay in the house. We've got Mitch and Dan Fika in the house for the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Contractor tips and other consumer advocate tips and ideas here on the show. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We always like to feature our real estate listings live on air and help our sellers profit more and sell faster. We got a property at 3008 North Nebraska Avenue. This is in Seminole Heights. Great opportunity. It's a commercial building, and it's set up for a professional office space. 3008 North Nebraska. Price reduced, 3,600 plus square feet. Building, 6 rooms, 3 bathrooms, mixed-use building opportunity. opportunity. Plenty of street parking as well, and building and street parking. Seminole Heights, close proximity to I-275 and I-4, downtown, Riverwalk, and so much more. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the program. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. I love going down there once or twice a month. I walk in, and the nursing staff is awesome. They hook you up with a vitamin infusion drip directly into your bloodstream, boost your immunity, get all those crucial vitamins directly into your bloodstream. Multiple Bay Area locations, or they will come to you. They'll go to your home or office. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Dan Fika in the house, AC guy of Tampa Bay. Welcome back, sir.
How are we doing, Brandon?
Excellent.
Awesome, man.
Thanks for coming in. Can you introduce Mitch Stewart?
Yeah, this is Mitch Stewart. He's one of our service techs here. He is also our lead sales coordinator here. He will provide you with the new system quote if you guys are looking for one.
Nice. Okay. And welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. My pleasure. So contractor tips. We like to talk about consumer advocate tip, contractor tips. We'll touch on like labor supply, material supply as well. What are you seeing in the market right now?
Well, a lot of the major brands I've come to find, just even finding parts for them, it's still extremely hard. Not sure. Typically you think by volume, by numbers. If we're the largest, typically you're going to think, we're going to have the supplies and the materials that are necessary to provide you. That's not the case. Not so much at all. We're still running into problems. Because a lot of the parts come from overseas.
Right.
It's still hard to find things. I've had customers waiting, 3-4 months to get some cooling going.
Wow.
So they've got to buy some type of supplemental cooling in the process.
Window unit or something.
Exactly. Window unit, portable unit, anything like that. It's a pretty terrible thing that we're all experiencing right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. So supply chain issues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough. And it's gotta hurt. So that's on a repair. So you got somebody looking to get a repair done, and certain specific parts inside the unit just not available.
Absolutely. I mean, it's even with certain brands of air conditioning. It goes back to the lead names. Even people that actually don't know air conditioning have heard of the name Trane, right? We've all heard of Trane. Trane, basically, they got big due to their great advertisement. Nothing stops a Trane, right? So people know the name Trane. So that large manufacturer, still hard to find parts for. The leading manufacturer now over Trane is Daikin. Daikin's the number one manufacturer in the world. Hard to find parts for.
Yeah.
The branding that we are getting a lot of good feedback from is actually, it's a York product. It's owned by Johnson Controls, Champion. They provide a 10-year parts and 10-year labor warranty, which is a golden ticket there, man. So basically what that labor warranty will cover for you, it's if a part breaks, obviously the diagnostic charge, the manufacturer does not pay us to fix to diagnose what's wrong. It's to fix the unit. So if we will show up, a diagnostic charge, and then from there, you owe me nothing. It's a huge money saver, huge benefit when looking at equipment. Just because being brand name specific is not always the case.
Yeah, Champion sounds like a name I recognize. It like they make spark plugs and stuff too. I think, is that right?
I think it's a little bit separate, but yeah, that is a name. Yeah,
interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, and then so consumers are looking, for quality, just showing up, giving them a fair, honest review, right? Or review of what they have, the situation. Absolutely. And sometimes they don't get that from a lot of these other contractors out there.
That's the truth. I'll use this scenario or with somebody. We all get an appetite for a steak, right?
Yep.
There's many steakhouses around the state of Florida or in our area. Hey, I want a filet mignon.
Right.
So you say, hey, it's a steakhouse. Great. I want to go, you go in, order a filet mignon. And it turns out to be a burnt rock, right?
Yeah.
It's not that filet mignon that you expected. Just because it says steakhouse doesn't mean you're going to get what you want. It's the same thing with an air conditioning company. Same thing. Just because it says, hey, blah 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 AC, that doesn't mean you're getting an AC guy out there.
Yeah.
You're going to get a guy that's going to sell you everything underneath the moon and not give you what you actually need.
Just try to repair instead of repairing, they want to replace a lot of times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've seen 3-year-old units, 5-year-old units, Now, we've taken consideration the warranty aspect. If the system's out of warranty, then you got to look at and do the repair versus replacement, scenario.
Right.
If the repair's, $1,500, $2,000, then you got to say, hey, this ain't got no warranty. It's a big part that I got to replace, repair. Let's get something with a warranty in for you.
Right.
So,
yeah, we're talking with the AC guy of Tampa Bay here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, acguyoftampa.com. You can find him online, acguyoftampa.com. And you've had Greg on the show as well before. Greg is the owner of AC Guy of Tampa. So we got Dan Fika in the house, and Mitch, you work on the service side?
Yes, sir.
More of the service side?
Service and sales. Yes,
service
sir.
and sales, that's right. So what do you see from your point of view out in the market there?
I mean, we were just having this conversation before we came in here that we have some higher efficiency units where we're not able to get them. So we're trying to get this customer the best option that we can provide, and we really don't have that option because of that wait time and because of excessive manufacturing issues. So it's kind of frustrating on our side because we're trying to do the best quality job that we can.
Right.
But on the back end, we're struggling.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a lot of it, too. I see, at least I'm hearing from my other sources and podcasts, different things I see and read is that, the trend to offshore is back. Under President Trump, we were bringing a lot of the jobs here, keeping the jobs here. And I think it was even Carrier that was in the news back then. Isn't that a big AC?
Absolutely.
Carrier. So I think they were talking about moving to Mexico, and then, through Trump's gentle persuasion, was able to keep them here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a challenge, I think. A lot of times when you look at these big companies and, the trends to offshore and to move to more of a global scale and to, really just not a fight to keep our jobs here, I think is what's causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah.
A lot of that also comes with back to the parts talk. A lot of these parts in the ACs are definitely not from the United States.
Right.
There are some very beneficial things down the road to exchange some of those parts with things from the United States, things that will actually last. That's a big thing I run into. Hey, what's going on? The unit's 3 years old. Why does this not last? What's going on?
Right.
Because quality's gone, man. It's the quality control. It's hard. Everything's coming from overseas. And it's just it's a big mess for everybody.
And the corporations want to minimize that profit or maximize the profit, minimize whatever cost they can. So they'll take a shorter, cheaper, bridge there. In a lot of cases, the quality is what suffers.
That's right. Yeah, some of these larger corporations own all the parts.
Exactly.
So they are making them to break so they can make more money. So yeah, I see that quite a bit.
What about top tips? What are some of the things that folks can do or think about or consider that are, some of the biggest questions that you get?
Some of the biggest questions or more or less calls is, hey, my AC's not working. When was the last time it was maintained? Oh, well, it's been about 3 years. Well, there you go. We all own cars, right? Are you going to drive your car for 3 years and not change the oil?
Right.
Right. It's an investment, right? So now more than ever, the heat's rolling in. Time to get the system maintained. We got a great maintenance program. It's called the VIP membership.
Yeah.
It's a $15 a month membership. We come out every 6 months, biannually. First, we'll do a maintenance checkup, check all the system components, clean the drain. The second visit, we'll clean the system and check the components again to make sure you're not going to have a failure during summertime and or winter time. You'll get some money back, some 20% off on parts, anything that we need to repair during the time. You'll get reduced diagnostic fees. It's a great program to have. It's an asset. It's going to keep your system, your investment running when you need it the most.
Yeah, that's awesome. VIP program, acguyoftampa.com. You can find them online, acguyoftampa.com. And that's about a wrap for us. And you got social media too. You guys
Absolutely.
On social?
Facebook, Twitter. Absolutely.
Facebook and Twitter. Find them online. Support the show. Support the local economy by supporting our local area business owners. Reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894 and consumerqb.com. And I want to thank all of our expert contributors today. Thanks to our team behind the scenes putting the show together, listeners, viewers, and download the podcast, Spotify and iTunes. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhines at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.